Welcome to Fawn Radio Theater, brought to you by the talented theater students at Deer Park Junior High School in Deer Park, Texas. This semi-regular podcast has the nostalgia of those old-timey radio shows with the energy of junior high drama. I am their teacher, Jennifer McLaughlin, and I thank you for coming with us on our journey of finding new ways to keep performing during a global pandemic. This episode of Fawn Radio Theater is performed by Fourth Period. We performed some really nice royalty-free scripts, including Scare Theater, a commercial for Stuff, another exciting episode of Mosquito Girl, and a seasonal favorite, Twas the Night Before Christmas, adapted for radio by Donald Reasoner Jr., which I found on Drama Notebook. Drama Notebook for all your script and theater lesson plan needs.
Whenever I am feeling low and life seems rather rough, I go to the store and spend my dough and buy a bunch of stuff.
Yes, friends, it's Stuff. Stuff in can, bag, or box. Stuff is the answer to your wash day woes. Unplug that greasy sink and put Stuff in it. And if you're one of the countless thousands who gets up in the morning with that rundown feeling, Stuff is the answer. It's Stuff for shinier floors and countertops. Stuff for irregularity, bad breath, and ringworm. Just listen to what Miss Ida Mae Mussup has to say about this miracle product.
Living in a cage is not all fun and roses. So when Motley, our pet sheep, hurt his knee, I put some stuff on.
There you have it, friends. Stuff, made from the secret formula H2O plus other things. Stuff for those hard-to-get-at places. And Stuff works at temperatures up to 40 below zero. Stuff goes right on working, giving you instant relief while you sleep. Just ask Winthrop Harrison Wellington III.
Well, Mumsy had me tied to a chair at poolside, and I was sitting there playing with some of Dad's money and figuring out a way to burn the house down without the butler noticing it, when I noticed a $1,000 bill with a small stain on it. I tore free of my ropes, clambered aboard our yacht, and made the first mate put some stuff on it. Father was so pleased he let me play with the Chase Manhattan Bank.
Another triumph for Stuff. Stuff for home, farm, or factory. Get some today.
Whenever you are down in the dumps and you think you've had enough, don't just sit there and take in your lumps, go buy a sack of stuff.
Welcome once again to Scare Theater. Are the lights low in your house? Do you hear strange sounds in the attic? Is a cold wind moaning beyond the window? Let's hope so, for tonight we join Inspector Charles Fibley as that famous detective sets out to solve the case of the deadly dozen. The scene of tonight's crime is a windy, cold, dark, damp, and rocky island just off the coast of Scotland. As we leave the boat dock and climb the hill, we see the castle of Lady Sentley staring darkly at us through the gloom. It's Montgomery, the butler, who answers the door, throws a sack of garbage to the monster in the moat, and escorts us to the Sentley drawing room. Here before the fire, 12 people have assembled to hear Wendell Oxley, Lady Sentley's lawyer, read her last will and testament.
Friends and relatives, please be seated. It is, as you know, my sad duty to read Lady Stingley's will. I have it right here. Before I begin, I should like to have a bit of water. Montgomery, might I have that pitcher of water there? Thank you, Montgomery. Now then, are we all present? Very good. Let us begin. To my favorite niece, Miss Constance Clayberry, I live...
Bang!
My God, the lights have gone out.
Thank heavens they're fun.
Good Lord, Miss Clayberry's been shot in the drawing room.
Please be calm. Friends, Montgomery, please begin us to call Inspector Fibley. Now, let me continue. To Sir Edmund Lucy, my dear old friend, I leave...
My God, the lights have gone out.
Thank heavens they're gone.
Good Lord, they've cut Sir Edmund into teensy pieces.
Don't panic. I'm sure Fibley will get to the bottom of this. To continue, to Aunt Clara Sexton, I bequeath my...
My God, the lights are out again.
Thank heavens they're back on.
Well, Aunt Clara has an arrow in her ear.
Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. But I'm sure Fibley's on her way now. But we must forge ahead with the will. Let's see. Ah, yes. To my wayward nephew, Desmond Samples, I leave.
My God, the lights, they're out.
Thank heavens they're back on.
Look at that. Poor Desmond's been completely squashed.
And so it went in the drawing room. First, Miss Clayberry, shot. Sir Edmund, machine-gunned. Aunt Clara, crossbowed. Desmond, squished to a mishy-mash. Next to die was Clarence Kesley, friend and poet. He was swallowed by a giant snake. Then Melissa Von Stooch was boiled in oil. Then Griffin G. Griffith, the old family doctor, is bitten by a puff adder named Rover. Next, Miss Pitter, the cook, is poisoned by a stale Twinkie. Montgomery, the faithful butler, dies of a broken neck after being thrown headfirst through the door of the grand ballroom. Sly, the Senchley gamekeeper, is killed by a vicious Irish setter. Morgan, the old gardener, is the 11th to go. He's found buried head down in the petunias. As we return to the castle, we hear Lawyer Oxley say,
To my companion and lifelong friend, Blanche Vernon, the actress I give. My God, the lights have gone out. Thank heavens they're back on. What's this? Blanche Vernon, electrocuted? That means I'm the only one left. But wait, someone's coming.
It is I, Mr. Oxley, Inspector Fibley, at your service. I have a few questions for you. What seems to be the matter? Why are these people dead? Why are you the only one alive? Is that the Senchley will in your hand? Where were you the night of October 31st? What's the capital of Dakota? Is there a bathroom in this house?
May I say one thing, Inspector?
Certainly, old chap.
I want to remind you that you are talking to Wendell Oxley, heir to the Stingley fortune. When these unfortunate people died, I became the sole heir to $40 million. You're also conversing with the fellow who has always had the highest regards for a hard-working, underpaid policeman. You are listening to Wendell Oxley, one of the most generous multi-millionaires on earth, and doing all this wearing a trench coat that is dirty and tattered, a hat that is frayed, a tie that is stained. In short, you could use a loan.
Stop right there, sir. What are you saying? Smacks of bribery? And you are saying it to one of the world's most competent and experienced detectives, and one whose reputation, if not her clothing and income, are above reproach.
Well, Inspector, if you feel that way, I withdraw my...
Stop right there, sir. Let me finish. As I was saying, my reputation is sound, and if it weren't for my years of experience and practice, you, sir, might be in serious trouble. Exercising the keenest judgment, I have concluded that no crime has occurred here tonight. These 12 unfortunate people have died of natural causes. In fact, that might be missed by a less competent investigator.
I should have known that a woman of your character and reputation would not be fooled.
Of course not. Now, if you will be kind enough to show me the bathroom, then we'll discuss the loan, that generous and permanent loan you mentioned.
And thus did Inspector Fibley solve the case of the deadly dozen. And tune in next time when Scare Theater presents one of Inspector Fibley's greatest cases, the disappearance of Wendell Oxley. We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for this breaking news story. We take you now to New York City, where our field reporter, Holly Wood, is speaking with a local resident. Holly?
Yes, I'm staying with Professor Clement Seymour and his family at their home in Western Manhattan. It appears just a few nights ago, the Moore family had a unique encounter with right in their own house, here on the street. Professor, can you tell us what you witnessed?
Of course. Well, 'twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring.
Not even a mouse.
That's right, son, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care,
In hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be here.
Those are my two children, Benjamin and Margaret.
It's very nice to meet you. Did all of your children witness this, Professor?
Not all of them. Most of them slept through it. These are my two light sleepers, so they woke up at the first sound. The rest stayed in their rooms. Is that right, dear? This is my wife.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Moore. So your other children were asleep?
Yes, the children were all nestled and all snug in their beds.
While visions of sugar plums danced in our heads.
Sugar plums?
Yes, I spent the past week baking, and the children have been eagerly waiting for Christmas Day, when it's our tradition to put out the plates of cookies, cakes, and other treats. In fact, I caught one of them trying to sneak a sugar plum when they thought no one was looking. Sorry.
Well, anyways, Mama in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
What happened then?
Then, out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to my window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash.
That's when Ben and I woke up.
Were you frightened?
Nah, just curious.
The moon on the breast of new fallen snow gave a luster to mid objects below.
So, even though it was nighttime, the moon reflected off the snow in such a way that you could see objects clearly?
That's right, it was beautiful.
Fascinating. Go on.
Then what to my wandering eyes did appear?
A miniature sleigh.
And 8 tiny reindeer.
Tiny reindeer.
Yeah, these reindeers weren't like the 350-pound caribou they have up north. They were very small, more like the size of a fawn.
That was small, and they were pulling a sleigh?
Yep, with a little old driver, so lively and quick.
We knew in a moment that he must be Saint Nick.
More rapid than eagles, his reindeer they came.
And he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer, now Vixen.
On Cupid, on Comet, on Donner and Blitzen.
To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall.
Now dash away, dash away, dash away all.
So, what happened then?
Well, up to the housetop the reindeer they flew, with the sleigh full of toys.
And Saint Nicholas too.
And then, in a twinkling, we heard on the roof the prancing and crawling of each little hoof.
As I drew in my head, I was turning around. Down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound.
Astonishing.
Well, he was dressed in all fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back,
And he looked like a peddler just opening his pack.
his eyes how they twinkled, his dimples how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
And the beard on his chin was as white as the snow.
The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke, it encircled his head like a...
Like a wreath.
Yes, like a wreath. Thank you, my dear.
He had a broad face and a little round belly.
That shook when he laughed, like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby
And plump.
A right jolly old elf.
And we laughed when we saw him in spite of ourselves.
A wink of his eye.
A twist of his head.
Soon gave us to know we had nothing to dread.
That's a relief.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He filled all the stockings,
Then turned with a jerk,
and laying his finger aside of his nose,
and giving a nod.
up the chimney he rose.
Wait, he entered the room through him, and then when he left, he went back up the chimney? He exited the house by going up the chimney.
I know it sounds crazy, but he used this chimney for both his entrance and his exit.
Okay, is that all?
No, not at all. Then he sprang to his sled and gave his team a whistle, and away they flew like the down of a thistle.
But we heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
Fascinating. There you have it, a remarkable story, a remarkable visit from a remarkable character. It's important to report at this time. Authorities have yet to confirm this site, but Professor Clement Moore and his family are unmoved. They are convinced they've received a visit from none other than St. Nicholas himself on Christmas Eve. I suppose the rest of us will never picture. This has been Hollywood reporting from the home of Clement C. Moore on the island of Manhattan in New York. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Holly. That was an interesting report. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. Mosquito Girl! Mosquito Girl, the champion of justice and niceness. Mosquito Girl, the enemy of criminals everywhere. Wherever evil raises its ugly head, it soon hears the buzzing little wings of Mosquito Girl. To the people of Megatropolis, Melanie Meek is a common, ordinary, plain, run-of-the-mill, average, everyday person who works at Crandall's Car Wash. Little do they know that Melanie Meek, born in an Alabama swamp, is a real-life Mosquito Girl, a young woman with the IQ of a genius, X-ray vision, lots of muscles, and a vicious sting that gives you malaria. Today's episode begins in a secret laboratory located in Hidden Mountain, 15 miles west and a little south of Megatropolis. It is the workshop of Dr. Naughty, the mad, evil scientist. Listen now as Dr. Naughty explains his latest invention to his faithful assistant, Floyd.
Come look, Floyd. Here's my latest evil adventure with the masterpiece. I shall become the richest white person in the world.
Where is it?
Where is it, you idiot? It's a gigantic machine there by the wall.
Which wall?
There, numbskull, there.
Oh, the one with all the dying and flashing lights and the whatchamacallit going up and down? What does it do?
What does it do? I'll tell you what it does, you knucklehead. With that machine, I plan to freeze down 10 megachoppers. Then you and I will put thermal underwear and rub all the banks.
But Dr. Naughty, what about Mosquito Girl?
I'll take care of that insect. I'll freeze her little wings.
With that, Dr. Naughty presses the freeze dial and sets his evil scheme in motion. Meanwhile, at Crandall's car wash, Melanie Meek is washing a Toyota and talking to Morris, her friend and fellow worker.
Gosh, Morris, it was hot here. Now it seems cooler.
Yeah, cooler.
Must be a friend coming through.
Yeah, friend.
I think I'll open the door and check the weather.
Yeah, door. Weather.
Help me, Morris. Go close this door.
Yeah, door.
Morris, a storm and temperature drop in the middle of July can only mean one thing.
Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
Not Christmas, you nitwit. Means that Dr. Naughty's back.
Yeah, Dr. Naughty.
Right. Turn it back, Morris. I have to change clothes.
Right here in the car wash, Melanie?
Yes, Morris. Right here to change from Melanie Meek to Mosquito Girl. Dr. Naughty, here I come.
Bye, Melanie. I better close the door. Gosh, I didn't know Melanie had a pair of little bitty wings and wore long gray underwear. Sure is a sight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what?
We join Mosquito Girl as she arrives at Dr. Naughty's secret laboratory, crashes through his thermal window, and says,
So, me again, Dr. Naughty.
I've been expecting you, my little insect. No, don't move, my dear. One pushes button and a large fire starter will knock you senseless.
Fly swatter?
Yes, little pest, and it works like this. That does it. She's out cold. Tie her up, Floyd, and put her in the frozen meat locker.
I'll tie her up, Dr. Naughty. I used a knife my mom showed me.
Hurry, you idiot. That's it. Good, Floyd. Now this is Mega Chopper's banks to make a withdrawal.
Is our heroine doomed? Will Dr. Naughty succeed? Tune into our next episode when you'll hear Mosquito Girl say,
Idiot Floyd, tie me up in bow knots. One pull and I'm free. There now. How do I get to that freezer door? I got it. I'll just take this frozen turkey and pound the door down.
Here next time for another adventure with Mosquito Girl!
Scare Theater, Stuff, Mosquito Girl, and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas was recorded during fourth period with the voice talents of Trinity, David, Sophie, Madison, Uvia, Kayla, Miles, Gustavo, Kaylin, Ezra, Trey, and Margot, featuring Corey as the announcer. Our sound technicians are Chloe, Christian, Davin, Mario, CL, and Michael, with Isabel as stage manager and Jack as the hallway monitor. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Fawn Radio Theater. Don't forget to follow DPJH Theater on Instagram. That's theater with an R-E. And hit that subscribe button while you're at it. The kids have wild dreams of thousands of fans and making merch. Our ever-present shout-out to our principal, Dr. Tiffany Reagan, our fine arts director, Jason Dove, and Autonautics.com for our intro and outro music. This is Miss Mac saying, don't stop believing.